Hello and welcome to the Mosaic. I'm Izzy Galanti, co-founder and CXO of Mosaic Instructional Planning, and I am so grateful that you have embarked on this journey with us to high quality, intentional lesson planning. If you have gotten to this video, you probably just signed in and are seeing a blank canvas in front of you. There's, of course, a prompt up here that says if you want to get started planning, and it kind of leads you to this video, as well as our founders video introduction. So I hope you also availed yourself of that. But for these purposes, I just want to take you through the first steps in your journey. You will not have courses in this space until you have set up units. If you look at the left side, this is always going to be our navigation panel. In the middle will be our content panel, and on the right will be our guidance, coaching, and notes, some sort of communication, feedback notes, etc. So you do not have courses until you have created a unit. When you create a unit, and I'll just say add unit, when I create my first unit, I'm going to say my first math unit. And then I'm going to choose my subject. Obviously, I guess I'm going to choose math since I used math in my title. Core math. And let's say that I'm grade 3. Okay, when I save this, I will have created the card or the possibility of my first unit, right? This is just a placeholder. But when I go back to my courses, you can see that I now have math, and particularly core math, for grade 3 as a course. Okay, if I was that same grade 3 teacher and I'm going to add another unit, I might have this one as my first ELA unit. And now my subject matter is ELA, English of some sort. Add that, 3rd grade as before, right? And now it just kind of adds to the unit list here in the unit tab. But the courses, now it has 2 courses, core English, core math, okay? When I'm going to create my unit or add some content to it, I can click from the course tab, get into this unit, and on the left side, as mentioned, this is our navigation panel, and you have all of the components of the backward design, UBD designed unit planning. The system will take you step by step through each of the panels, each of the sections. You also can jump around to each of the sections. So if I jumped here to standards, right, or I could have added my description and gone down here to continue and gotten to the standards, I'm going to add some content standards, select from all. I see my math standards since this was a math lesson or math unit. And let me put in one here, one from each of these domains, all right? Just pretending, or it might be in reality, but we're pretending right now. You can see that these are New York standards, and they would be, specialized or customized to your state if you're not a New York teacher. When I click continue, or I really don't even have to, but when I click continue, you can see I'll go down to the next section, which is essential questions and so on. All right, when I go back, I'm going to go backwards, and I just want to show you what the course looks like when I have selected some standards. Now my course has a particular set of standards for my unit. Now you say, I saw you press a whole bunch of standards. Where are they all? And that is a great question. When I look at these standards, if I roll over, I can see all of the standards that I'm going to cover in that unit. If I pull away, you only see the first few. If I roll over, you can see all of them. So that's obviously an option for you as well. From there, if I'm going to add units, lessons, or adapt or adjust my unit, like for instance, I saw that I didn't like maybe not capitalizing all these things, so I want to redo that. All I have to do is highlight it and very simply add whatever kind of text or whatever I want to do to adjust that. So I have my first math unit. I have all my options for adding content to that unit. I also have my exporting options for this unit, which I can make a slide deck out of it. I can export it to Docs, Google Docs. I can export it to a PDF, or I can export every section of this to a Google Classroom of my choosing, of course, and it parses it out and it puts everything in its right place, and it'll even put the individual lessons that you build inside this unit into the right categories of topics in Google Classroom. We'll explore that in another video, but right now I just wanted to expose you to that option. Here are the lessons inside of my unit, and you can see that there are none. So I'm going to say lesson 1. And as soon as I say lesson 1, I have to choose a delivery date. Let's say it's the 29th of August. And now I have a lesson card here. I can continue to add one at a time, just in the same way, right? I can add lesson 2 and so on. Or I can add multiple slots down here. Now I'm going to say that this is going to have at least 10 more lessons. If it's only 9 more, I can go ahead and kind of, cancel 2 of them out, or however you want to work it. So now I can just kind of title lesson 2. And what a lot of times teachers will do is use this as a way to really get their topics and dates down so that they're starting to formulate a scope and sequence. Inside the lesson tabs, as soon as I click on the lesson 1 and I want to add content, now my navigation panel changes to a 5e format that we can talk about, or you will hear about under the lesson tab in the main overarching login page. So I'll show you that right now. So you can see the lesson 1, but if I pull back, I can see my unit, and I pull back again, I'm back to the courses tab. The unit tab gives you an overview here for coaching about UBD unit planning, and then the lessons tab gives you the 5e lesson guide and lesson plan options and ideas. So all of these can be filtered, can be added to from this panel. If you want to add a lesson individually that does not connect to a unit, you can add the lesson. Or if I add lesson for ELA, and I say that it's the delivery date of whenever, even the same 29th, go into my subject, say ELA, Core English. Now, as long as I have all these categories selected properly, Core English, Grade 3, and Save, you can see that there is no, let me get rid of the filter here so that we can kind of see that. See lesson for ELA. There's no unit associated with it. But if I wanted to, I can assign it to a unit after the fact. So if I click assign it to the unit, you can see that it now has the same parameters, ELA and grade 3. So I can assign that to that unit, and now it's a part of that unit. Well, that's it for now. I just wanted to give you a jump start on how to establish your courses, how to add content to your units and lessons, and then how to kind of filter those things if you want. As your bank of lessons and units becomes larger, you can look at some of the filtering options. If you have any questions or need any additional information, you can choose this info@mosaic-ip icon here that will open up a text box for mailing, and get us an email. Shoot us any questions you might have, and we'll be sure to get back to you in a timely fashion. And for now, happy planning.